Hello, this is the Scarlet and Rage podcast. Thank you for taking the time to listen. We are coming to you today with just a brief, just kind of preparation episode for this massive national championship matchup that's about to happen. We are currently just about 24 hours away. Not even maybe a little over 24 hours before we actually know. But we are just about 24 hours away from knowing whether the Buckeyes are going to be the 2025 national champs or whether, they're going to drop this one and Ryan Day is going to fall to 0-2 in his national championship appearances. Just a little over 24 hours from now, we're going to have the answer for that. As people hopefully start logging on, we'll start getting the thoughts and the feelings of how you guys are feeling about this, this matchup. I know that we went over it the other day, and gave a kind of our breakdown. Some of you guys felt that Jay was maybe giving the a little too much credit to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. We saw that in the comments during the live chat. Then we saw that in some of the comments post live chat. Some of you were kind of asking questions like, whoa, do you think that Notre Dame's really that big of a threat? Yeah. And so, starting to see some people log on now. Drop it in the chat. There's not a real big agenda with this. This is just kind of a check-in, 24 hours out. Tomorrow at this time, all of us are going to be glued to the TVs. All of us are going to be, maybe emotionally distressed, depending on how close the game is or isn't. At the end of the day, we got a chance to put another national championship in the WAC, the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, for the inaugural 12-team playoff. Nick, as a Michigan fan, I finally decided Notre Dame must lose. The Big Ten needs to cement as the number one in college football. Couldn't agree with you more, Nick. We were right there with you on this podcast, the only Ohio State podcast. I don't know if that's really a big deal or not, but it's true. The only Ohio State podcast in the entire podcast stratosphere, as far as I know, that was actively, openly rooting for Michigan to win the national championship. Why were we rooting for Michigan to win the national championship? We were doing that because we wanted a Big Ten team to win it as opposed to likely another SEC team. If the Buckeyes, hold on one second, guys. Rage has contacted me. I did not know if he was going to be able to jump in, but I think he's going to. So let me send him the link so that he can hop in here. He is in Atlanta. He is preparing to go to the most expensive game of his life. probably one of the more expensive college football games, maybe in college football history. James W., we're walking around down here in Atlanta. Good God, Notre Dame fans are such freaking weirdos. I like a bunch of cucks. Yeah, I was down in New Orleans, with the Georgia fans and the Notre Dame fans, and I will agree with that. They were a little bit of an odd group. Certainly not what I would consider to be a cool fan base. Now, that being said, some of them were nice, some of them were cool, or whatever. I'm not like making blanket, statements, but as a rule, they were a bit of an odd fan base. Met a couple of really nice ones, but certainly a little bit different fan base than I have kind of come across. James, put it in the chat. Are they kind of low key? Kind of unconfident? That's how they were going against Georgia. I don't know if that's how they are now. Maybe they've got some confidence since they slayed the big SEC dragon. But the Georgia fans were down in New Orleans beating their chest, the Notre Dame fans were very kind of low key. They were not, saying a whole lot. So I wonder what their demeanor is today, down there today. Are they feeling good about this game? Are they kind of, not saying a whole lot? Be interesting to know. But yeah, Rage will be hopping on here in a minute. But yeah, we were rooting for Michigan so that the Big Ten could get on top, because we recognize that the Big Ten needs multiple programs that can win national championships. This isn't a Big Ten episode, but, giving my little Big Ten spiel here. So this century, up until Michigan last year, changed that. The Buckeyes were the only Big Ten team to win a national championship. And that hurts Ohio State, because when it comes time to get into the playoffs, maybe if you're on the border, which we were several years during that 4-year, 4-team system, if your conference is not winning national championships outside of you, it's a negative. The SEC always got the benefit of the doubt. Why? Because they were winning national championships, and not just one of them. Yes, Alabama primarily made up the bulk of that, but you also throw in Georgia, of course. You also throw in Auburn back years ago. You also throw in Urban Meyer's Florida teams. And, you had multiple SEC teams that are capable of winning a national championship. Well, Michigan proved last year that we have multiple in the Big Ten. I think by Michigan's recruiting, they're probably going to be back threatening for that again, at least in the running as a top 5 type team, probably in the next couple of years. I think Ohio State is primed to stay there, being capable of doing it. Obviously this year, I hope they close the deal and do it. We've got Oregon. They're already in that top 5-ish range, top 3 to top 5-ish range right now, where they are capable of doing it. Right now, that's probably the only Penn State. I don't know. I'm not going to go there. They had a great year. They made it to the Final Four. They still didn't beat a really good team. They beat 2 teams that they absolutely should have beat. They lost a super close, super competitive game, or we'd be having an all Big Ten national championship lining up tomorrow. So I'm not going to say that they are capable. I think Oregon's absolutely capable. Michigan's shown they're capable. I think Michigan will be back in that echelon here in the next couple of years. I think Ohio State's staying. So the more Big Ten teams, because your team can't win the national championship every year. As much as we like to say that, every year we're looking for a national championship. We know reality is it doesn't happen. Only happened twice since the year 2000. A lot of people like to go back and say, oh, well, this program's only had 2 national championships in 60 years, or whether they go back to the last Woody Hayes one. Yeah, that's true, but that's not an important metric. That's lowering the standard. The truth is we've had 2, and we've played for 4 or 5 in the last 24 years. So maybe we can join LSU with the second most modern national championships at 3. We would be passing Georgia. We would be passing Clemson. We'd be in rare air with only Alabama and LSU. LSU being kind of one of those strange programs that year in and year out is not there. They're not in the picture year in and year out. They're there some, and they'll have these really good teams, and they'll win a national championship, and then they're gone. But I think it's great that the Big Ten has multiple teams now that can win it. I'm hoping they add another 1 or 2. Oregon would probably be the closest to strike to add to the Michigan-Ohio State tandem to win national championships in this modern era. But your team can't win it every year. And so when they don't win it, I would rather teams from our conference be there competing for it and winning it some of those years. I know that we're not going to shut the SEC out forever. I get that. They're a good conference. They're still a good conference. The playing field has leveled. Right now, the Big Ten is right there looking down on the SEC a little bit. Boy, has it been a long time since that happened. And so that was a very long-winded response to our Michigan friend Nick's comment that, he is ready for the Big Ten to cement itself as number 1 in college football. You and me both, Nick, and this would certainly do it. People would say the Big Ten's arrived. You win back-to-back, the Big Ten has arrived. You have 2 teams in the top, in the Final Four. Notre Dame, of course, being another Midwest team, but not a Big Ten team. Okay. Yep, you're right, James. Yeah, we played for one in 1980. I was not alive at that time. I was born in 82, but I've seen the replay. We were like a 1 yard or half a yard away from winning that national championship. And boy, how that would have changed Earl Bruce's legacy at Ohio State had they have done it. 98, we absolutely had the best team. I traveled down. I was a junior in high school and went to the Sugar Bowl that year, where we took on Texas A&M, dominated the game, had kind of a lackluster win. I think it was like 24-13 or 24-14. And we had dominated the game much more than that. We had settled for 3 or 4 field goals and gotten bogged down. And, obviously that didn't matter because we had lost to Michigan State. And so that brings me to kind of my next point. This is an opportunity to reshape. And I know some people are going to struggle with this. And there's a part of me that struggles with this, quite honestly. But there's an opportunity to reshape the Michigan-Ohio State game. Previously, throughout basically the entire history of Ohio State-Michigan football, that game determined the fate of your season in many ways. When Michigan had a team that could compete or win for a national championship, they had to get through Ohio State or it wasn't going to happen. 2016, maybe 2015, I think, a couple of those years, Michigan was in the top 4 or 5. If they beat us, they're going to the playoffs. They didn't. Their season didn't end the way they would have liked. Many times in the Buckeyes history, we've played Michigan, lost, and not been able to have that opportunity to play in the national championship. 98 is a great example of that. 90, I think 5 or 6, 95 maybe would be another example of that. But that's not how it is now. And in this very first year where there's a chance to lose that game, not even win your conference, and potentially reach that ultimate prize, it's game changing. Is it going to change the way we view the game? I don't know. It could. Certainly, if we can finish this off tomorrow, it's going to take the sting out of that loss. As far as I'm concerned, you win this game tomorrow, you win a national championship over Notre Dame, then the sting's gone. The sting's gone. There's no sting for me anymore on that. Some people might disagree. They might say, oh, well, I'm still going to be, kind of a bitter taste about, about that game. And that's fine. I understand that. But for me, this game erases all that. Let's get to some of these comments. Slip and Skippy coming with the positive vibes in here tonight. 24-14, he is saying the score is going to be. I'm assuming you're picking the big guys, the good guys, Slippin'. James, with everyone being able to pay players now, and not just the SEC won't win any more titles more than anything. Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to level out. I think that clearly they still have some programs that are going to win one, but I don't think we're going to see this dominant thing. From Atlanta, ready to go in and cheer on the Buckeyes for 4 quarters tomorrow, wearing a very sharp Ohio State gear there. Did you pick that up just for the game, Jay? Or is that something you've had for a while?
Michael, this is something I've had for a while.
Super chat from Jay Cortez, $4.99. Thank you so much, man. This is the first show I caught live. Love the show, and it might be my favorite Buckeye show. Go Bucks, Ohio against the world. Absolutely appreciate it, Jay Cortez. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for watching. Hope you can catch some more live shows in the future. Ohio against the world. Absolutely. I love it. Jay, what's going on in Atlanta in the ATL?
What? Repeat the question again, Michael. Somebody just said something.
We can't hear you.
Dude, this is a very, very busy restaurant bar I am in. Hopefully,
no audio. We can't hear. let me text him that maybe there's a mute button that's on or something. So while he tries to get that audio figured out,
can you hear me now?
A couple of more.
Can you hear me now?
Couple more comments here. Jay Cortez, let's go, boys. Ohio against the world. Rage. Ghost of a flea. Every playoff game has been pressure on Ryan Day. Yeah, absolutely.
Michael, can you hear me?
All I know is pressure is all on Ryan Day, not on Marcus Freeman. 100% on that. Freeman does not have the pressure that Day has. There's no question about that. Freeman is playing with house money. Freeman has been playing with house money somewhat since they beat Georgia. Now, I know they got a matchup that was a very winnable matchup for them in Penn State, so certainly that would have been disappointing to the Notre Dame fans if they couldn't have pulled that off. But Notre Dame's playing with house money. Ohio State is not really. You could kind of say we are because nobody expected us to be here, but nobody expected us to be here because of the way this team performed in the regular season. Okay. Rage is saying that others can hear me. All right, well, come back, Rage, and see if maybe it's just me who can't hear you. If I can't hear you, then let me turn on our podcast and see if I can hear you. Through the podcast. Let me see. Let me go to YouTube here and turn this thing on. All right, I'm going to mute myself. Rage, go ahead. Let us know what's going on down there in Atlanta.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just say that it is absolute fucking chaos down here. It is a lot of fucking fun. You're paying for the memories. You're not paying for the ticket. And I just want to say that Notre Dame fans are a bunch of fucking worthless, disgusting cucks that they basically, I promise you when I tell you this, they are men that pay other men to fuck their wives and girlfriends because they are too impotent to pleasure their women on their own. So, yes, my God, it is cringy to be around these fucking Notre Dame fans. Cringy as fuck. But you know what? Ohio State is here to correct it. We're here to win tomorrow on Donald Trump's Inauguration Day to reset the world for good men, alpha men and leaders, not fucking beta cucks like these Notre Dame fans walking around. I will say, Michael, that I think they outnumber us. I think they outnumber us down here, man. I think they actually have a slight advantage just from walking around. Now, in the area I'm in right now, this nice facility, Ohio State fans have shown out well. They have shown out well. Ohio State has shown out well. But in the three main hotels, Ohio State's hotel, Notre Dame's hotel, and the hotel I'm in, I think Notre Dame fans have about 70% to Ohio State's 30%. So we'll see.
I can hear you now. So tell me this. How is their vibe? I was saying when I hopped on here down in New Orleans, they were kind of sheepish. Like they were not making any kind of bold claims or predictions. They were not talking any trash. They were kind of shying away, kind of like, well, it'll be a good game. I think what they were really saying is, we hope it'll be a good game because they don't have a history of having good games. And certainly before that Georgia and this Penn State when they have not. So what's their outlook? How are they acting? Are they confident? They kind of playing it reserved? What are they doing?
I mean, I've had maybe 2 conversations with Notre Dame fans so far, and they, the consensus is that they believe Ohio State's either going to blow them out or they are going to win a close game. That is the consensus amongst their fans. Now, that doesn't mean it's the consensus amongst both fan bases, but it seems to be the consensus with them. They believe that they're going to, if it's a close game, they believe they will win.
Interesting. I don't know. Maybe they feel that they've got the edge that Ryan Day loses some of these close games. I'm not sure what their thinking is on that. Personally, I believe we could win in a blowout, and I believe we could win 24-20. I think.
Hey, Michael, I will say I thought I was going to go to war down here, but I didn't realize how much like Notre Dame fans are a bunch of betas down here, man. They're just a bunch of reserved little bitches just walking around. Honestly.
Yeah, no, they're. I mean, I noticed that. I mean, and you know, I guess in some ways that's good, but you that they're not going to be starting stuff. But yeah, they don't seem like the kind of crowd that's going to be starting stuff. There he is, James in the house. Where are you guys?
We're at the Hard Rock Cafe down here in downtown.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've never been, but it's pretty cool.
Cool. Awesome. But yeah, so you know.
Let me know if there are any comments right now. I'll probably hop off here in a little bit because I can't see them.
Well, Slip and Skippy heard your little commentary on Notre Dame men and said that you can't take Rage anywhere. He can't go out
What is it?
Hopefully they'll give Ryan Day an extension if he wins tomorrow. I'd love us to replace Mick Keebler after the season. Yeah. I don't know what to do on the.
I hope everyone's having a drink tonight.
There you go. I don't know what they'll do on that. I mean, there's been talks that they might give an extension. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what his contract is. Yeah, I'm not sure what my thoughts are on that. Let's see how the game plays out tomorrow, and then maybe I'll have a better feel for how I feel on that. Jay Cortez said, "Punch Shane Gillis, Rage. If you see Shane Gillis, give it, punch him, I guess." Shane Gillis, the comedian, he's a big Notre Dame fan, so may see him out about.
Oh God! Man.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Shane Gillis? Who the fuck is that?
He's been on the Rogan show. He was on Saturday Night Live very briefly. He's got his own show and he does stand-up comedy too. So he's kind of become popular here as of late. Michael and Rage, how drunk are you getting tomorrow night if Ohio State wins? Well,
I don't like the look ahead.
It's going to be a late game, and I gotta be at work at 9, so probably not going to be a whole lot of that for me. Rage, I'd say that's probably going to be a different answer. I'd say Rage is going to be, he might be 3 sheets to the wind either way. Whether Ohio State wins or loses, he might be there by the third quarter.
Man, it's similar to 2 years ago, but it's like magnified now. It's like, today could be, tomorrow could be the greatest day of my life, or it could be the worst day of my life. So, it's I see all these like shops and stuff around in all the hotels, like buying college football playoff, national championship apparel. I'm like, I'm not buying jack shit unless Ohio State wins. Why the fuck would I waste my money on an event where Ohio State can lose? And not only lose, like this would be the worst loss. This would be worse than 2 years ago against Georgia, just because you're losing to Notre Dame. Those faggots.
Yeah, 100%. I made the mistake of buying this one of those really nice white short sleeve hoodies that they do for the playoffs a few years back when the Buckeyes won the playoffs and then they lost. And like now I don't even really want to look at the thing. So I'm with you. I'm not going to buy anything either until they win.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, because you have a fucking brain. I feel like a lot of these people don't have a brain. They're just here because they just like to have a good time, or I don't know. They have the Notre Dame mentality. They're a bunch of beta cucks and just kind of enjoy the experience rather than the substance.
Yeah. Well, some kind of excitement's going on.
Yeah, well, they're all watching the NFL game. I have not paid that close attention to the NFL game, but that's what everyone is watching right now.
Okay. James, 38-17 OSU. There's no way unless we turn the ball over stupidly. He scored more than 17 points on us. I agree. I agree with that 100%. Bills-Ravens game is super tense. Oh, boy, I might have to turn that on here in a minute when we hop off here. But seems like everybody's feeling good, Rage. This is kind of a fan check-in.
Yeah,
seeing how everybody's doing.
It's good, man. Dude, this is it's just it feels good to be in ground zero right now. Trying to feel a pulse. I am going to be going. Now we are going to be going live tomorrow before the game. I will be inside the stadium. Michael, you'll be wherever you are.
Yeah.
I'll be inside the stadium. I don't know if I'll do a halftime check-in. Probably not. I'll probably be. I don't know. I probably will be all of my feels and not really knowing what to do or say. But I will. I do also plan on doing a mini post game inside of the stadium, win or lose, and doing a mini breakdown before we do the full breakdown another time.
Okay, awesome. Slip and Skippy says he thinks Day's contract is 2027 or 2028. Okay, so drop it in the chat. If Day wins tomorrow, Jay Cortez, Buckeyes 42-21. All right, I like it. I almost picked 42 myself, and I shied away.
I will say this. The closer this game gets, the more I'm more anxious, but I'm also, it's an excited anxiousness. Like, I really do think we could maybe do some things on offense more so than I made my original prediction, but I'm still predicting Ohio State to win. It's just a matter of how we win.
Yep. Shane Cup, Rudy wasn't even Catholic. He was a Mormon. I didn't know that. I never knew Rudy wasn't Catholic.
I don't really care that Rudy was a Catholic, but from what I understand, Rudy actually served time in prison.
Did he?
And he served time in prison, and he was a piece of shit.
Really? Didn't know that.
Yeah, the movie portrayed him to be something that he wasn't.
Okay, yeah, the movie portrays him as a heart of gold.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's not. He wasn't.
Okay, got it. James says
that's typical Notre Dame.
Okay, James says Notre Dame fans, they do not think they're as good as us, but they are hopeful. That seems to be the vibe he's picking up from them. Jay Cortez, Rudy's teammates say to him, yeah. I mean, everybody hates to try hard, and when it's that Monday practice and you're not feeling good, and this guy's playing for the Super Bowl on the line. I imagine that absolutely was the case. I tell you, I'll kind of close with this, Dave. Speaking of Rudy, that grit, that determination, that drive, but he didn't have any talent. I really think this Buckeye team has caught that championship determination, and they've got serious talent. And so put those two together, and I'm still going with the Buckeye win. I picked 31-17. I'm going to up it a little bit. 37-17, I think it's going to be the score. So I'm going a little bit more optimistic. And I think this team's got it. I think they got the heart. I think they got the mentality. I think they got the drive. I think they're going to go out and do it. And we got a question here, Rage. What are you drinking? What drink you got there?
Oh, man, some kind of IPA. I don't even remember. They were out of the one that I wanted, so they gave me something similar. I don't even know. Something. I just been drinking it over and over. That's all I know.
Yeah. Okay. Some kind of IPA. Yeah, you're an IPA fan. Jay Cortez, Travion Henderson. Yeah. Travion Henderson needs his own movie if Ohio State wins. Trey. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Trey's a great story. Might have to touch on that at some point after this. I don't know if a lot of Ohio State fans are even really aware of how close we were to losing Trey Henderson just a bit ago. There was a issue with the staff. There was a lack of trust. And he was almost out of here, but thank goodness he stayed, and he could really put a cherry on top of that by having a big game against Notre Dame. Hopefully, getting loose and breaking off either a big run or a big pass, and making a massive impact. Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau. We need all the big guns revved up, clicking on all 8 cylinders.
Oh, that's right here. Thank you. Yeah, our food is here.
Okay,
that's
great.
Mine. That's it. Thank you.
That's
right,
good.
Michael, I'm going to hop off here. What were you going to say?
I was just saying that's good timing because I'm about to hop off myself. I think we've done it. We've got the pulse of everybody. Everybody seems to be feeling optimistic. Thank you, guys.
31-21. I upped my score.
31-21. There we go.
31-21. You heard it.
All right.
31-21. Fuck Notre Dame. We're gonna win this goddamn thing, and if we don't, I don't know what to say. If we don't win, there's chaos.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Lavelle Cannon said Rage switched it up. LOL. At first, he didn't think the Buckeyes would win it all. Well, yeah.
No, that's not wrong. I predicted Ohio State to win.
Okay. Yeah. I think he was
This
saying
game.
that. Yeah, this game. Yeah, I think he was referencing back at other points in the season. I was very optimistic about Ohio State winning the national championship until the Michigan game. And then all my optimism went down the tubes. I didn't think we had a shot in the world. I completely doubted them. I admitted it. I hope they prove me wrong, and I will be so happy to admit that and to drink that medicine of giving up too early.
Well, Michael, I'm going to hop off here, man. I am going to eat this food. Then I'm going to go over to the Ohio State actual hotel for the team, probably hang out there for a little bit. Then I'm going to go back to our hotel and hang out with the gay Notre Dame fans.
Awesome.
Don't judge me. I'm not swinging the other way.
All right. Well, I know you're not, but we'll see you. We'll see you in the stadium before the game tomorrow. Have fun. Thanks for stopping in. Go Bucks. OH. You didn't give me the IO. But anyhow, guys, thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. This was just kind of a little check-in to get a pulse of how everybody's feeling, kind of talk about the game. I think everybody's excited. I've kind of tried to block it out at times so that I don't think about it too much, just kind of block it out of my mind. But I'm kind of getting to that point that I'm starting to think towards that. If I'm thinking like that, if you're thinking like that, you know how the players and the coaches and the staff are feeling right now. They're getting that mental mindset locked in, getting ready to go. And I think they're going to go out there and do it. And it sounds like all of you also think they are going to pull it off as well. Jay Cortez, I'm drinking Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer. Cheers, Buckeyes. Okay, I didn't know Hulk Hogan had a Real American Beer, but that's cool. Shane finished it up for me. He gave me the IO. Project Hang'em, feeling good. SW Lion 26. Yesterday was a shit show for my Detroit Lions. Go Bucks. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that. They just had so many injuries down the stretch. Would have loved to see them do something just because Detroit's one of those cities like Cleveland that if my team's not in competition with them, I want to see something good happen for them. I don't like the Browns, but I don't mind seeing something good happen for Cleveland. I lived there for 7 years. They need it around that city. They need the positivity. I feel the same way about Detroit. Wish they hadn't had so many injuries, down as the season went. Really hard to compete in the playoffs, like that. Good thought to get out of here on. Slip and Skippy. Nick said, good luck, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, all you Michigan fans who's supporting us. That if there comes a time in the future that you're carrying the Big Ten mantle once again to the national championship game, we will be returning the favor and doing the same. Slip and Skippy said, leave no doubt. Absolutely. I think that's permeating and reverberating through the minds, the hearts, the spirits of the Buckeyes today. Leave no doubt. And I think that mindset is going to lead them to victory. All right, guys, appreciate you dropping in. If you want, we'll be doing the little thing, another little short, brief thing before the game with Rage live inside the stadium. So look forward to seeing you then. Until then, go Bucks.